Our first topic is about the Global Center for Cybersecurity. So we will have a look at what is the Global Center for Cybersecurity and it is working under which organization and what is the objectives of the Global Center for Cybersecurity, etc. Now recently a Global Center for Cybersecurity was established by the World Economic Forum or WEF. So WEF, it established a Global Center for Cybersecurity in order to safeguard the world from hackers and growing data breaches. Now this Global Center for Cybersecurity, it will function as an autonomous organization under the World Economic Forum, and also its headquarters will be located at Geneva in Switzerland. So again, whenever we discuss about various international institutions and organizations, one question that we often get is its relations with respect to the United Nations. Remember that the Global Center for Cybersecurity does not have any connection to the United Nations, rather it is associated with the World Economic Forum or WEF. Now the Global Center for Cybersecurity, it will become operational from March 2018 onwards. Now let us have a look at the aim or objectives of this Global Center for Cybersecurity. The aim of the Cybersecurity Initiative is to establish the first ever global platform where the governments, businesses, experts and law enforcement agencies can collaborate on cybersecurity challenges. So that is the objective of the Global Center for Cybersecurity. Now as underlined by the World Economic Forum, right now why cybersecurity has become very important is due to the fact that there is a lot of new technologies coming up like artificial intelligence, robotics, drones, self-driving cars and Internet of Things. Now these technologies, they will be increasingly dominating the future of technology. So imagine, for example, Internet of Things is a technology or a concept that aims to give internet access to almost every device that is surrounding us. Means everyday objects like alarm clocks and washing machines and coffee makers will be given internet access under the IoT ecosystem. So now imagine what will happen if more cybersecurity threats are happening with respect to Internet of Things or artificial intelligence. These newer technologies, they will be controlling every aspect of our modern life. Again, they will be applied in various sensitive areas such as finance, then national security, healthcare, telecommunications, mobility, etc. So due to this increasing amount of cyber attacks, and if this increasing amount of cyber attacks again shifts their focus into these kind of newer technologies like artificial intelligence and Internet of Things, their effect could be even more deadly. Now cyber attacks are increasing day by day and the sophistication associated with the cyber attacks are also increasing day by day. Now we have very powerful ransomwares like WannaCry. So in this kind of a scenario, we need to improve or we need to keep up with the speed and sophistication of cyber attacks. That is what governments and businesses needs to be able to keep up with these increasingly technologically versatile cyber attackers. Now this initiative, it was launched at the 48th World Economic Forum annual meeting which took place on January 2018 in Davos in Switzerland. So the 48th World Economic Forum annual meeting. Now the theme of the 48th World Economic Forum annual meeting was creating a shared future in a fractured world. So globalization was under threat due to the rise of nationalism and right-wing movements. And at this particular point of time, the theme of the World Economic Forum annual meeting was creating a shared future in a fractured world. Now, with respect to the Global Center for Cybersecurity, the term the World Economic Forum uses is that they are saying that the World Economic Forum created this Global Center for Cybersecurity to prevent a digital dark age. Now imagine how much the cyberspace is influencing our daily lives. And countries are increasingly trying to militarize this cyberspace in order to get a strategic advantage. See, for example, the Russo-Georgian war and the creation of Stuxnet against Iran's nuclear program are a reality, and it is a prime example of increasingly militarized cyberspace. So in this particular scenario, our daily lives are increasingly dependent on cyber technologies. So there is a real possibility of a digital dark age, and the Global Center for Cybersecurity aims to address that challenge. So again, remember this term, to prevent a digital dark age. We can use these kind of terms when we are writing answers with respect to cybersecurity. These days we are getting a lot of questions in cybersecurity with respect to prelims as well as mains. And even in the essay paper you can see questions with respect to cybersecurity. So when we are writing these kind of answers, if we can use these kind of terms like to prevent a digital dark age, that will fetch us some extra marks. Again, we need to work harder in order to make sure that the benefits and potential of the fourth industrial revolution are secure and safe for the society. So we need to protect these newer technologies like artificial intelligence, as well as the fourth industrial revolution, and we need to make sure that it is secure and safe for our society. Again, that is one key reason why the Global Center for Cybersecurity was proposed as the first such kind of a global platform. Again, even Interpol leaders, they have responded to the initiative saying that Interpol will be a natural strategic partner for the Global Center for Cybersecurity. Now we will have a look at the organization that launched the Global Center for Cybersecurity, the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum, it was established in 1971 as a not-for-profit foundation, and it is headquartered in Geneva in Switzerland. Now the World Economic Forum, it is popularly described as an international organization for public-private cooperation. So you can see it is mainly focused on public-private cooperation. It has been described as the international organization for public-private cooperation. Now the World Economic Forum, it engages the foremost political, business and other leaders around the world in order to shape the global, regional and industry agendas. So to shape the global, regional and industry agendas, that is again one major idea behind the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum, it is famously known for its annual meetings at the end of January. It is usually held at the end of January in Davos in Switzerland. These annual meetings of the World Economic Forum is so much famous that even the term Davos is used to refer to the World Economic Forum itself. Now we will try to solve a prelims model question on the Global Center for Cybersecurity. With reference to the Global Center for Cybersecurity, consider the following statements. Our first statement: the aim of this center is to establish the first global platform for governments, businesses, experts and other law enforcement agencies to collaborate on cybersecurity challenges. This is absolutely true. So again, remember this fact, it is the first ever global platform where governments, businesses, experts and all can interact in dealing with these kind of global cybersecurity issues. Then it will function as an autonomous organization under the United Nations. Again, whenever you are studying about any organization, have an idea what is its relation with the United Nations. Now it is functioning under which organization? It is functioning under the World Economic Forum. It has no connection with the United Nations. So here our right answer is option A, one only.